normal intensity, we have to decrease it like this, maybe 0.25. Yeah, see, this 0.25 normal, and this we figured out only because if we were going ahead and scouting the scene. It's very important. Just telling you again and again, you have to just spend good amount of time until you are absolutely sure that yes, every material in the scene has been properly tweaked on, and everything is properly behaving accurately in the scene. And once you start getting that feeling that okay, we have done everything possible in the material, you can go ahead and then proceed further, and I will go ahead proceed further. So I want a bit more reflection on this surface, so we'll go ahead and let's just increase it's like 0.2 and see how it looks. Yeah, now it's looking much better. We can make it a bit darker. So you can go again and again on a single material unless until you are sure about it. So once you are comfortable or confident that okay, all the materials have been taken care of and they are looking good, then what you have to do is you have to go again in post process volume and see if you need to do something like increase intensity of auto exposure, decrease it, or maybe you want to increase the white balance. So just go ahead and give a overlook and try to adjust anything, like maybe let's see if it's 1 how it looks, maybe 1.25 how it looks. So we just have to go ahead and then adjust the post process further, like I will go ahead at 1.15 and then 1. So 1 is looking better as of now, so I'll keep it to 1. So you have to just go ahead again and then see how it looks like this one. So it's looking warmer, so it's better. Okay, let's make it default. Just go ahead and then cross check everything. It's very important. And once you are sure, so now let's go ahead, and once you are sure about the material and then post process is also good according to you, now after this what we'll do is we'll go ahead and make the cinematic of this scene, because in the cinematic and after the cinematic, or maybe when we'll be rendering the cinematic, we will be understanding all those settings here now which you see here, like all these we will be using. I will show you how it can be tackled and used to the best of its capability. So now first thing we have to do is we have to go ahead and then make a sequence animation or maybe cinematic animation of this. So we have to make a cinematic animation of this. So now we can go ahead and give the collision on all the objects in the scene. So for giving the collision, what we will do is we'll go ahead, bring a blocking volume. So as you can see, I'm going ahead and then giving the blocking volume. I'll go in top and hide this, and I will select all these lights, select lights, and then hide, select all the spotlights and hide. And I'll go here in this view, only to view. And now I can go ahead and then right click, select all rectangle lights, also hide this one, also hide. And now go in top view, and then we'll go ahead and give the blocking volume on all the parts of this scene. So as you can see, I'm going ahead and giving the blocking volume. It's very easy. Just make a blocking volume and then distribute it accordingly as I'm showing here in the scene. You can also make this like this, keep it like here, and we'll have the blocking volume. Giving blocking volume is very easy, not a problem. It's simple. So as you see, I have given on all the walls, and now let's go ahead and give on the internal objects. So I can duplicate this, scale it, and now I will decrease the height because I have to give it on interior objects. And you can also go ahead and give the collision like this. So if you want, you can go ahead, select this object and then double click here and then go into this collision and then add a box simplified. But I don't like giving collision like this. So instead I go ahead, remove collision, and I will go ahead and then give it from this blocking volume. This one is very easy to give, and if you want to amend or maybe resize the collision and all those things, we can do it very easily because it will be already available in the viewport. So it's better for me, always it's better that I give the collision through a blocking volumes, because to give the collision it's easy and to modify it's also easy. So I prefer like this, but you can use the mesh also, internally give the collision. It's absolutely on you, whatever you like, but I like this way. And on some object you can go ahead, give it like this, or you can use the same technique on those also. So I'll go ahead and use the same technique, and I will just scale it a little bit. And now if we go ahead and play, then this scene is in fly through mode, so we need a character here. Now for that, what we'll do is Control H and then Alt 4 and then G. So now we have to give a character inside this, because when we create a default scene in Datasmith, we don't have any character. So to have a character, what you can do is we can start a Unreal project. I'll save this. So I will go ahead and then may start Unreal Engine, and I will go inside these games, and in games we'll press next, and then we'll go inside this first person, and then next, and leave all this default like blueprint and then maximum quality, ray tracing disable, desktop console, and no starter content, and then I will create the project. So we'll bring this character inside our scene, and then I will customize, and we will be customizing that character, and I will show you detail. So let's go ahead in this content browser, select on content and type char character. Now right click and then set action and migrate it. So okay, and then go ahead, select your Unreal project and then just select okay. Now go here, select this and then copy the name, Control C, and now just close this, and now go here and in the world setting, game mode, and then just paste the name char. So we have this character, first person character, and we will go ahead and apply it here. I think we have done some mistakes, so let's go ahead and check it, open, and then browse, select this. Let's see what is it. So first person game mode. Let's migrate it again, and then migrate. Okay, and then select this, ray tracing tutorial, content, and then yes to all, first person game mode. Copy, and let's see, first person game mode. Now you have that, you see. So I think it was not exported or migrated properly. Now we will be just falling down, so we'll have to give collision on the floor also. So we'll go ahead, select the floor, and on collision on the floor you can go ahead and give it from here. So let's click here. Oops. And if you press here now, so now you can see. But one thing you will see is you cannot move now. So if you press WAD and then if you move, you will not be able to move from here. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead in this project setting, like edit and then project settings, and then we'll go in input, and then we will go ahead import, and I will be giving you a file here in retracing for Unreal input file for character movement. You have to just bring it here now and import it, and now if you go, you can move now, and you can also click your left button to fire the gun. So now let's go ahead and adjust the character. So we'll just go in content browser, type char character, and then we'll open this character. So now here you see the character's blueprint. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and then just in spawn projectile we will detach it from a spawn projectile, and then we'll go ahead compile it and see. So now it's not shooting the bullets, and after that we'll go ahead here in blueprint and then game modes and then HUD and then edit game mode here, and then first person, edit first person HUD, and we'll detach this. Let me break these links and apply, and now if you see, you don't see the cursor. And in again in your first person, go to viewport and select this one, and then scroll down and hidden in game, and then select this gun and then hidden in game, compile, and then when you press now you don't see anything, and now you can move in the scene. And it seems a bit high in the height, so let's go ahead and go in viewport, or maybe this one, and then select the height of the camera and make it like 45 and see how it looks. So let's go ahead and then, yeah, now it's looking better. And if you want to decrease the speed, so you can go at character movement here, and then here in max walk speed you can make it 185 and play, and then see, yeah, it's still fast. So let's go ahead, select character movement and make it 75, compile, and then press play. Now it will move slowly, see, so it can move slowly now. And if you see here, go and play, and it will be current camera location, so we don't have a player start. So let's go here in this mode and then click type play start, and then bring this character play start, and now you can go ahead and place this somewhere else. And this one, this blue direction, this blue angle is the angle when the character will spawn, it will see in that direction. So let's go here and then keep it like here, and then if you go here, it will now default play start. So when we press play, it will start from that location, player location, this one. And we can go ahead and then rotate a bit more like this and click press play and then see. Okay, looks good. A little bit more, rotate this and then play. Yeah, now it's looking perfect. So as you can see, we have completely customized our character. The movement is okay, it's not shooting and any guns, and we cannot see any guns, and it's not shooting any bullets, and we cannot see the guns. As walk speed is also proper, and then we cannot see HUD, and then we have put a play start so that it starts from this default starts. So if you press control current camera location, then it will start from the camera position, and if you click on this player default play start, it will start from the position where the player start is. So now let's go ahead and then cross check. I will close this now, and I will just close all these tabs also. So right click and then close all tabs to the right, and then close this one also, and close this one also, and then Control Shift S to save everything, and then just click play. And now we'll go ahead and check all the collision. See, I'm not able to go near it. So what it is it? So go ahead G, and then we select this, or maybe open this character, go in viewport. This capsule is too wide, so let's make it like capsule radius to maybe 15. Yeah, and let's put this camera to like here inside this capsule. Perfect. Compile, and then go ahead, and then now you can go to the near object like this. So let's go ahead and cross check all the collisions. I'm going ahead and cross checking for the collision whether it's stopping or not. So you can see we are colliding with all the objects now. I am not able to go inside any object. Just cross check everything. Okay, so I'm going ahead and penetrating in this TV. So what we can do is we can take any of this blocking volume, duplicate by pressing Alt on it, and then we will just go ahead and adjust it accordingly. So if I go ahead here and then like this, and then we can go ahead and then scale it down, and scale it a little bit more like this. And now if I go ahead and then try to see again that TV, now will not be able to go inside this TV anymore. You see, we are not able to go inside this TV anymore. Let's go ahead and check all those other objects collision. So see, I'm not able to go inside any meshes now. Now all these box you are seeing, they will all be gone once I'll be going ahead and changing the parameters, quality parameters, they will be gone. So no problem. Now go ahead and then check the collision on internal objects like this. I'm not able to go inside these objects. So perfect. So as you can see, we have properly put a character and then given collision, and now it's absolutely perfect, and we can just explore our scene like any scene we want. So after this, what we'll see is, if we go ahead and see here like Unreal Engine and then this ray tracing tutorial, if I right click here the size of this whole project is 29 GB because we brought all those materials here, and we don't, and now we have almost, we are at the finish of the project and we want to push it further, so we have to reduce the size of this whole project so that we have only the materials and objects and assets that are absolutely being used in the scene. For that, what we'll do is we'll go ahead, right click, and then here start an Unreal Engine scene, and select this architecture and engineering, and then click next, and then we'll click blank or archviz, it doesn't matter. So let's click this archviz and then click next, and then we have, now we can go ahead and enable this ray tracing if you want, because you already know how it can be enabled inside, and if you want you can also disable it. So as of the moment, so that to show you, I will be enabling this ray tracing option from here, and we will create new project from here, and we will export or migrate all the, and we will migrate the levels from this scene so that every object that are being used in this scene only be migrated to the new scene, and with that new scene file will be absolutely filtered, so no unwanted material and objects will be there inside that scene, and that way we can save our hard disk space, and we can get rid of every unwanted material we haven't used here. So our new project is here now, so it's like exterior, and now we'll go ahead, select this, and here in project we'll go ahead levels and just Control Shift S so that everything is saved, and I now go to asset action, and then click migrate, and then click OK, and then go ahead in this project like my project 3 content, and then select folder, and everything will be exported now. And now we can go ahead and close this. We are done on this, because after doing everything we have just sent the filtered object, like you will go ahead and see here now. So if I go here, like close all this project also and start Unreal Engine. Now we go to the more and then browse, and then we can go here Unreal projects and my project 3, and then just open it. And this is the new project where we brought only the required thing that were used to reduce the size of the project and make it very viable for the distribution or sending to anyone. So we have to go to here, like, and then in project we'll go to levels, and then double click this level, and you see only the required or only used things are here now. It's a very good method to migrate and bring all those things, only required objects. So now we have our project here. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead in this project settings, or maybe editor preferences first, and then we'll just go ahead and click this save, and then project settings, maps and modes. We'll go ahead and then click new map, and then again new map, and then here inside input we'll go ahead and input that file again, like from tutorial folder, ray tracing, and then another input file for the character. Import this file, and then go to the rendering, and then go ahead disable texture streaming, and then make this to 1024, right? Because 1024 is more than enough. And then go ahead in default settings, switch everything off here. So I just switched everything off, and then in gbuffer format we go ahead and then high precision normal, and then in ray tracing it will be already available, enabled, because we click the enable button there. And in here Windows we will go ahead and then make it to default RSI DirectX 12, and it will already be DirectX 12 because we selected the enable ray tracing option while we were creating the project, right? So everything, after done doing everything, just go ahead, save the file, and then restart now. So now if you go to go to here, and this was the project earlier. Like if you see the size here, this project size will be 29 GB. And if you go here in this my project 3, now we have exported only imported migrated only the important things from here to here, and it's only 2.4 GB. So it's very nice. And now you can delete this folder if you want, and you'll have the only filtered and required project that is very concise in terms of size and assets available inside that. So we can go ahead now. And now to increase the quality of reflection, we have to just go ahead and then cross check here inside this world settings, and you have to go in engine scalability and make sure that your engine scalability is on cinematic. It's not on epic, high or medium or low. It has to be on cinematic so that you get the best reflection possible in your scene or in your real-time scene or ray tracing scene. And if you go here in cinematic, in blueprint, and then open, you will see our command we already gave to disable the denoiser. GI denoiser will be available, and once we go ahead and press simulate, then that command is being activated now. So it's activated. So if you stop it, that GI noise will not be there anymore. And these GI nodes we will be taking care of, so don't worry, and we will be showing how to overcome and remove them. So let's go ahead and cross check the scene again and see if we need to do anything else. So I think we are absolutely fine at the moment, and now let's go ahead, make a cinematic animation of this project. And once we make the cinematic project, I will go ahead and show you how to tweak the settings to render the cinematic in the best quality possible from Unreal Engine. So for that, what we can do is we can go ahead and then click a cinematic and then add a level sequence. So we'll go ahead, click add level sequence, and then we will go in project, and we will right click and make a new project, and then we will type over 04 underscore and then sequences. Okay, and we will name it like cinematic render. So as you can see, we have our sequencer here, and if you go ahead and press Ctrl Shift H, you can see the frames, and these frames will be dependent on the graphic card quality. So the better and the powerful graphic card you will have, this frame will be better. But as of now, Unreal Engine's ray tracing is not extremely optimized, so you will not get a great uh, frames on a normal graphic card like I am using 2080 Ti. So you can go ahead and purchase a Titan RTX or maybe Quadro RTX 6000 or 8000. There you will get up to 60 FPS on this scene like this one. So you can go ahead and then explore the scene in real time. And on these types of graphic card, you have to watch it in a small window. Okay. But as of now, we can use the ray tracing technology in Unreal Engine to render high quality cinematic video very fast. Okay, and that I will be showing you how to do it. Once we make a cinematic sequence, I will be showing you all the settings inside this post process volume and how to make this scene even better, like this one. All these settings I will be showing you how to tackle them and how to use them properly. So let's go ahead, make a sequence. So I will go ahead and then go here, make a cinematic cine camera actor, and then just drag and drop it here. And now I will go ahead and then place it on a proper angle and the location here. So now 180, and I will go here in sequencer and then drag and then add to sequencer, and we will just click add cinematic actor 01, so maybe 1, and then we have to go to camera aperture, and then we have to go to camera aperture and then make it 0, and then in manual focal distance we have to go ahead and make it 0, and then in this camera focal length we will make it like 25. Okay, and we'll go ahead and then just bring it back, switch off this snap tool or scale tool. We can go ahead and decrease it to maybe 15, this focal length. And we will keep this camera here, and then we'll go ahead in this transform, select this in this sequencer. When this camera is selected, just go ahead and click this keyframe, and here what you can do is go ahead and then type 300 or maybe 600, and on there what you can do is just press right click and then you can pan it, and then now you can go ahead, press Ctrl and scroll mouse to zoom it, and then now you can place here 600. Now this will be here, and then right click on this bar and then click set end time, so that will be increasing from here to here. And now we will increase this to maybe 200, so we can just go ahead, make it like, as of now let's make it to till the end. And now we have key here on this camera, so now we go ahead and then move this camera like this. Before that we have to go to 200. Okay, and then we'll just go ahead and then near around 200, then we'll move this camera here like this, and then like this here, and we will go ahead and then click add keyframe, and on this right click this keyframe and set key to 200. Now this key will be here, and if you go ahead here in this, we will select this first key and then click here and then cine camera 1. Okay, now if we click this button and if we go ahead, press game view, and then we press escape, and then if we click play button, then we can see our camera animation is there. Okay, so okay, let's make another camera now. So again G, and select this camera, and then Alt, and then move it like here, and then press and rotate this camera 180 degree and take to a desired location. And then go ahead here, close this, and then track. You have to go and then click cine camera 2, and now you can go ahead and then click a keyframe, and then right click on this keyframe and set its keyframe to 200, because our first camera is ending at 200, so our location of this first keyframe of this camera, second camera, will be 200. And now you can go ahead and just go in front of 200, and now you can move this camera like this, and then go ahead and then click this, and then select it, set key to maybe 400 now. And now let's go ahead, select this first key, and then in this camera cuts you have to go ahead and then bind it with the camera 2 from here, and then select this camera display, and now you can go ahead and play and see our camera being animated here now. So you can see now. Let's go ahead and make a third camera. So let's select this camera, and then again Alt, and then duplicate this camera, and then maybe find a good location for the camera. Okay, this seems good. And we can just bring the camera back and see if it's okay. Okay, perfect. So now let's start from here. Okay, go ahead in this sequencer and then drag and then add to sequencer and click on this 3, and now go ahead, click this to close, and then now go ahead and then click this button here and right click and set keyframe to 400 because our earlier camera was ending at 400. Now go ahead in front of that keyframe and then move the camera like here, and then just click this keyframe and then right click here, set key, and maybe put it to 600 now. Okay, and now go ahead to this first keyframe of the third camera, and here make it camera, bind to camera 3. Now let's go ahead and then see the entire, or maybe let's see the this camera first. So G and then play. So you can see our camera is moving. Okay, so let's go ahead and play the animation from the start. So if you go ahead, click this button to the front, and then we click here on this button and then press play. So this camera animation is very fast, so let's decrease the animation of the camera. So we'll go ahead G and then disable this, and we'll select this camera, and then we'll expand this and then select the first keyframe, and we will move this camera to like here, and then click this button to adjust the new keyframe, and then we'll go ahead to the second one and then we'll move it here, and then again then press this button. And now if we click this camera and then go to the first frame, and then if we click play, so now it's quite smooth. That's good. Yeah, perfect. So let's go ahead and click on this now and to the front, and then play our entire sequence. So as you can see, when we go through this there is some anti-aliasing here, and this types of anti-aliasing is very difficult to remove from a scene. Okay, so this scene is very small, it is very difficult to remove. So when we will be rendering the final cinematic, our scene will be like this much of big, and we will automatically don't have any issue. But to make that sure, let's go ahead and then play this in the full screen and see if that anti-aliasing is still there or not. So if anti-aliasing will be there, we will go ahead and change the camera view so that we don't see that anti-aliasing tool, because to remove that anti-aliasing it's very difficult. So what we'll do is we'll not use this camera from this angle. So we'll go ahead and then select this third camera and delete this key, and then we'll change this camera angle to somewhere else. Yeah, let's do like this. And we'll move the camera from here to here and see if it's penetrating any object. So it's not. So we will start the camera from here, maybe here, and then oops, we have to select this key first and then move the camera. So let's do it that again. Go ahead and then go like this, then 180 like this, go here, and then move this camera and see if it's penetrating on any object or not. So let's start from here. Now this key is already selected. We just click on this add key. Now that is freezed. We'll go here and then we'll just move this camera like this, or maybe like this, and then again add key and then right click on this and set key to 600. Perfect. And now we'll go ahead and then play the entire animation at once again and see how it goes, and then play. So this animation looks perfect, this camera animation, and then this one also looking perfect, and this one is also now looking perfect. Yeah, so by using all this technique I shown in this sequencer, you can go ahead and then do the uh, comprehensive cinematic animation and use like whatever you want and how close and something, like you can give lots of camera using the same technique. You can just go ahead and keep continuing this until you have all the cameras you want inside your scene. And now let's go ahead and then save this file. So once we are done with all this cinematic animation using sequencer and then giving the collision on this project and then tweaking all the materials and correcting all the materials and applying good materials on the surfaces and the lighting. So once we are done with everything and we are now ready to go for the final cinematic rendering. So before going to the final cinematic rendering, what we can go ahead is we can go in post process, and then we can just change this final gather type to brute force as of now. So you can see the difference. This is final gather and this is brute force, and now we'll go ahead and make the bounces to 3, and now you can see. So this will be the result which we will be getting in the final cinematic. So let's go ahead and change a bit of contrast because I think this is lacking a bit of contrast. So we'll go ahead here and then in globals we can go ahead and then give a little bit contrast like 1.15 and then increase this exposure a little bit like 2.25. Yeah, so now we can get a hang about this. So again we will be going ahead here and then we will just switch this on to final gather once again, and then we will just reduce this to max bounce 1, and then we will switch off this. So now let's go ahead and configure our settings for the final cinematic. And before that, what I will show is you can go ahead here in blueprint and open level blueprint, and if I go ahead here like this, and if I go here like this, what you can do is you can go ahead and let me show. So you can do like this here, and go ahead just copy this, or maybe let me do like this.